Hello, 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 and welcome to PitchZone. Have you played much with ChatGPT or Bard or any of the other AI tools that are out there? Well, I have. I really enjoy playing with them, and I toggle back and forth between the different versions, and it's actually a little bit cumbersome, but there's a better way. Our presenter today will show it to us. So it's my real delight to introduce Vasyl Rakivnenko. Vasyl, how are you today? And thank you for joining us.
Hello, Claudia. Thank you for the opportunity. Thank you for having me. I'm great. I'm here in San Francisco, ready to
All right,
teach.
all right. We were just chatting. You just flew in last night, right? So
Yes.
very good. Now that's a testimony to any great founder, hit the ground running, literally in this case here, get out of the airplane and you are here. Now, at this time, I usually so Vasyl, you're going to pitch today and you're going to pitch not just to me, but you're going to pitch to an entire group of seasoned coaches. And they will provide feedback to your pitch. Before we even get started bringing the coaches in, just very briefly, what kind of pitch are you going to do? An investor pitch or a customer pitch, or what kind of pitch?
I think that will be investor pitch 3 minutes. I'll try to get as much as possible into there.
All right. Cool beans. And we do have some viewers on YouTube right now. We have Rick Pollack, one of our coaches here as well. Rick, hello to you to Boston. I hope you're doing well. And we have Volodymyr Zubkov. You are based in Warsaw, so let me guess, it's probably either a friend or a colleague of Vasyl.
It's a co-founder. It's our co-founder and
That
CTO.
co-founder is watching. All right, this is going to be fun. This is going to be tons of fun. So, Vasyl, are you ready to meet your coaches today?
Yes.
Let's bring him in. Nathan Gold, up first. Nathan, joining us from San Francisco, California, considered by many the top pitch coach in the world. Thank you, Nathan, for joining us every single week since this started.
You're welcome, and it's a pleasure to be back for two reasons. One is I really look forward to these Thursday meetings, not just for the live audience, but I really like seeing what people say when they watch it after, when they have time on the weekends as well. The second reason I'm here is just to be upfront. I've been working with IngestAI.io for the last few weeks, on and off in different ways. So I just want to let everybody know that I have a little bit of an insider understanding about what they're doing already. So I will not hold back on my comments today. But I will be absolutely aware that I'd like to hear what Michael and Stuart and you, Claudio, say more than anything. Okay, but thanks for having me.
Sure thing. All right, Nathan, as always, a real pleasure. And we are bringing in coach number 2, Michael Marchuk. Michael, it's such a pleasure seeing you again. It's been a couple of weeks since you joined us here at PitchZone. You had a lot of activities going on. Things have quieted down again, so I'm super happy to have you here.
I am very happy to be here, and also very happy to have my life settled down a bit now that I've moved into a new home. But very much looking forward to this presentation today.
Excellent. So whenever you and we were talking about your move, there was this movie that always came up to my mind. I think it's called Moving with, I think, Richard Pryor. It's an older movie of a cross-country move and hilarious. If you haven't seen it yet, look out for it.
I'll put that on my list.
And coach number 3 today, Stuart Pink. Stuart, it's such a pleasure to have you here as well, because I know you've been super busy with your book launch, which just launched last week. So, Stuart, welcome to PitchZone.
Thank you so much, Claudio. I'm so excited to be here today because I think every so often in our lives, something comes along that changes everything. And I think for me, 2023 will be that one of those years. AI came along, for most of us, at least, in a way that we started to use, and it's changing everything. And so to be part of today's discussion is just so exciting. I can't wait to hear your presentation, Vasyl.
Excellent, excellent. Stuart, thanks again for being here. And I couldn't agree more. I mean, this AI thing, it is changing everything right now. And so it's so great to have somebody here that's at the front lines. And we will, of course, provide a review of your pitch, as we usually do. And I also look forward to an engaging conversation. Since Vasyl is in the house, I believe that we can all learn a lot and perhaps learn a trick or two how we can apply these tools to become even more effective and more productive than with what we already have available to us right now. So Vasyl, the moment is here. The moment is here. You're going to show us a 3-minute investor pitch. While you are presenting, I will have a timer right up here. It will be hovering over your slides. And this is just a guideline for you to stay somewhere in the 3 minutes. We are not going to interrupt you. We are not going to switch off the microphone should you go longer than 3 minutes. But if it goes too long, I may just, give you a little signal here or there. So, Vasyl, are you ready?
Yes.
All right. In that case, I'm going to switch over to your slides and I encourage you to take a deep, deep breath while that happens. And then whenever you are ready, the floor is yours.
I'm ready. Thank you. So, hello. My name is Vasyl Rakivnenko. I'm the CEO and founder of IngestAI. And first of all, I'd like to say thank you for this amazing opportunity to present to you our project IngestAI here today. IngestAI is product of the day, is plug and play top 50 tech center, and is project backed by Cohere, one of the world's biggest AI providers. In a few words, IngestAI does something very similar to what Booking.com did to travels. Let's see an example. If we imagine someone that is going to London for the first time, has no idea about what hotels are there, pricing, quality, locations, where this person would go, probably to Booking.com. Same thing here. If you are willing to leverage AI, but you have no idea about what models are there, providers, what problems are they capable to solve, and where would you be able to try all of that out, you're having IngestAI. This is the solution. IngestAI helps anyone willing to leverage AI to make it easier and faster. So how it works, similar to Booking.com, basically, if you know what you want, let's imagine you want DoubleTree by Hilton, you then go to Booking.com, you click London, DoubleTree, you got it. Same thing here. If you go to IngestAI and you want to use ChatGPT, you got it there. But what if someone told you that Google Bard is amazing? Same thing, you go to ingestai.io and you have more than 10 AI models, and we are adding new models constantly under one roof for you. And it's getting better. What if you would like just to go to Booking.com, put London, get all of the results, compare, and pick one which would be best for you based on your criteria? Same thing here. You go to ingestai.io and you use IngestAI aggregator, and just with one prompt, you're able to query all of the models, see all of the results, and pick one which meets your expectations. And this is not all. Let's imagine you don't like either of those models. you're able then to create your own hotel. Just within minutes, you're able to create your own AI model, which would be custom, trade on your data, and that's just with few clicks. You choose your base model, you choose the role you would like it, how would you like it to act, and you can add more instructions to that, and it will act the way you want, and it will stick to your knowledge base. And then you can create apps based on those models, and you can easily integrate those apps within your favorite messenger app like Slack, Discord, WhatsApp, or any other. And you can start exploring AI and leveraging AI just visiting IngestAI.io, signing up for free package, and you have those models there for you with just for free, signing up for free. I think the main idea of what IngestAI does and why it is similar to Booking.com, I've got it, and maybe if I have some more time, I would be willing more to answer more questions, because I'm sure you have questions about AI leveraging, what problems we're able to solve with IngestAI and with long language models, generative AI. So if we have some more time left, I would definitely prefer to answer your questions.
All right. That was pretty good. A little bit longer than 3 minutes. I'm not sure if you kept an eye on the clock. Did you see how long it took?
No, to be honest, because I didn't want to move my deck, not to destroy the thing.
Sure. It was almost 5 minutes. Almost 5. Yes.
Oh my God.
And this is the thing, when you're having fun, time flies, right?
Yeah.
When you're having fun, time flies. And
I can tell you, I was sure I did like less. I was sure I'm 2 minutes.
Yeah. It's whenever we present, right? We are entering some time of a time distortion, and it's so difficult to really keep track of it. And this is why you practice the pitch over and over and over again. Take the time every time you do that, just to see, how can you squeeze it in. So there needs to be, of course, quite a lot of cutting if you want to reach the 3-minute mark. And I'm sure our coaches will have a lot of feedback on how you can do that. My most obvious one that really stuck out at me was you spent a lot of time explaining what Booking.com does. And I think people, they know what Booking.com does. So a quick comparison and then go into what you do, I think, is much better. And then just before I turn it over to Michael to really start us off here, there was one thing, and it's a pet peeve of mine. When I hear somebody say, I think, especially when it comes to your product. You said, I think the main idea, what IngestAI does, is similar to Booking.com, right? Now, say that same sentence without the I think.
Yeah. The main idea of what IngestAI does is similar to what Booking.com does to travel.
Bang. You don't lose any meaning, rather the opposite, you gain some. So, Michael, what kind of feedback can you offer us initially here to Vasyl's pitch?
I agree. The length piece and just knowing your travel may have affected your schedule, your sleep schedule. I believe you started meandering through your thoughts as you were presenting to a point where I'm not sure who you were presenting to at some point. You mentioned before this was going to be an investor pitch. I kind of know. I mean, the comparison to Booking.com, I understand that. But the other pieces, when you start branching into models, and I have no idea what your business model is to be able to capitalize on this. no idea what kind of marketing or anything. I know nothing about the business model at all, other than what you kind of do. And so from an investor perspective, I honestly don't know if I'd be interested in finding out more, because I'm not really sure. So I think a couple things from my perspective is really hone down what your message is, because if you're talking to anybody, you got to be able to zip that out, and the comparison's fine, but drill down into who it's for, so that I know who you're selling to. Drill down into what your business model is, so I know how you're going to make money. Drill down into who else is investing and why they're investing into your platform, so I can understand who I'm going into this with, because all of that to me has been kind of a mystery.
Yeah, thank you. Good point. Yeah.
Vasyl, congratulations. I enjoyed your pitch. And this was a problem solution pitch. And boy, do you have a problem, because I think in the world of technology, there are two types of people. You have the Claudios of the world, who whenever something new and exciting comes along, he's on it, and another thing, and he's on that, and he's on that, and he's on that. And then you have the me's of the world. I see, oh, there's another thing, oh, another thing, oh, another thing. It's overwhelming. I don't know where to begin. I started looking at ChatGPT earlier this year, and then every day on Twitter, I see, oh, ChatGPT is in the past. Here are 10 new AI programs that came out in the last 3 days that are so much better. And I don't know what to do. And it seems to me that your pitch is exactly solving this problem. And that's what I think is so exciting about it. So for me, I would be jumping straight in at that point. The introduction that you did, it's nice to know who you are, but time is critical here in this pitch. Maybe later on you can say who you are or how you got to where you are, but this problem that you're solving, I think, is really useful. And I agree with all the comments that have been made so far by Claudia and Michael. But even if this is an investor pitch, I would still love to see some sort of demonstration of exactly how this works, because I think AI is just so mind-blowing. And so I get the concept of what you were saying, but if there were any way of showing, look, hey, you imagine you are this type of customer and you want to do this type of thing with AI. Look, we type in something, we get these results, and it can really highlight very quickly and effectively, oh wow, yeah, that's amazing. Yeah. But I really loved the slide you had, which I think showed a lot of the different AI things that are out there. So I think maybe showing how this is exploding right now, and it's very quickly, maybe even for Claudio, very quickly going to become unmanageable unless we have something like what you are providing. So I guess my question to you would be, do you think there is a way that you could show us a little demonstration, even in a very short pitch?
Yeah, I think that could be possible if I embed there a GIF, like short video, maybe, and just showing, like, not doing some kind of demo, because that would take longer than we would have, but just embedding there a GIF, which would be like 3 seconds, and just showing a query and then results going down, and and scrolling. That would take like 4 seconds, and this is something that we can add to the pitch. Sure. Thank you.
Excellent.
Really.
Excellent.
So to Stuart's point, Vasyl, you heard it straight from, I mean, you couldn't have heard it any more clearly. There are, and I loved how he described the two groups of people out there, but both groups of people, as you know, are well aware of this wave, or these constant waves that keep hitting the beach. Oh, I might like that analogy. I might use that one again. Anyway, the point I'm trying to make to you is you just heard it loud and clear that if all you did here in this pitch with investors, especially investors that are AI related or AI, which they all are, but they're not all investing in that world. But you can get them all completely hooked on what you're doing if you just did what Stuart said. Just go straight to it. But say something along the lines of, there's nobody here who hasn't heard of or used ChatGPT. Even if you haven't used it, blah, blah, blah. Let me show you what you can do with ChatGPT that you're not aware of. Boom. You bring up your stuff. You say, oh, look, there's ChatGPT 3.5. Let's put a, and that's where you would do a prompt. Now, to Stuart's point about demoing, I'm going to be a little controversial here. I don't think you need a demo. Everybody has heard of GPT. Everybody, or some huge percentage, has put a prompt in and tried it. So for you to do a demo to show me the response of a GPT prompt is almost a waste of time, I think, in this particular case, especially in a 3-minute. Every investor, you've heard the number. Anyway, you get it. So because you said this was going to be an investor pitch, we didn't hear anything. Michael brought this up, really anything related to investors, so to speak. So in 3 minutes, my recommendation is let's restructure this, break it all down, build it back up, and let's just spend 1.5 minutes on you and the product and the 3 main areas that you want to come across. Spend the other 90 seconds on who's your customer, your business model, your team, and your ask, and that's it. Leave everything else off for now and let them ask you those questions. And I think you can get that down to a 3-minute window. And I'm happy to continue helping you do that.
Thank you. Thanks a lot.
You're muted, Michael.
That's okay.
I think it's an important point that he brought up, and that is the the product piece itself. And I may be going back and say I disagree with Nathan on this and agree with Stuart in terms of the demo part, because while we may have all done a ChatGPT prompt before and played with it, in fact, a lot of people have played with it, and that's probably one of the challenges I'm working with right now to get to the business model, is we've played with it. And so that the prompt itself is not the issue. It's what comes after that and the interactions between the multiple models. Now, AI savvy investors will understand AI models and the various models and the various types and data scientist requirements behind the scenes to make all this stuff happen. Totally understand that. It's when you start saying, who's my audience? So at this point in time, I'm going to ask you, who buys this from you? Who are you selling this to? I want to know who's buying your product.
Most of the time, people that want to explore capabilities of AI kind of play around and understand if any of those models is able to
I need a persona though. Like,
there.
Who is that? Give me a persona. Like, is this like a baker in a bakery down the street? Is this a executive at a Fortune 500 company? Who are you selling to?
I would say we're like that's starting from students to executives, and we have CTOs of these big companies contacting and asking questions. But it's not more about position, it's more about willingness to see how to leverage AI and willingness to explore.
So I'm gonna put you on the spot here. I disagree with the last statement you made, because a baker who owns a bakery who may be interested and willing and looking at what AI could do for him in terms of improving his business is not going to be your main audience. They're not going to pay for this. They're not going to do anything with it. They're playing. They don't understand it. A CTO for an organization, that's a better route. They understand what an AI model is. The only models that a baker knows are the models that their children play with or build with on the weekends with glue. So you really have to focus on who you're selling to, because right now I don't think you know. And without knowing who's going to buy your product, because a student is not going to pay you much, but a CTO will if they see value behind it. If this is truly a technical product, you need to make sure you're selling it to a technical audience, because it's not going to be a CEO or a non-technical business manager or director who's going to be taking this up. They're still playing with it unless you've got some other concept that you haven't showed us yet. right now you showed us how AI models interact and how to select the right one based on prompts that are provided to it. That's very technical, and people have to understand how those models interact and why they would choose a specific model or not. When you mentioned, hey, you can model this on your own data, again, a middle manager won't even know where to start with that. This is a technical product. So knowing that your audience is technical, start with that. We're selling into a technical group, to people who understand AI, who are looking for models that are going to be able to fit their business units and understand how to the interplay between these models, and are frustrated with the fact that they have to go between multiple platforms to get there. That's what we solve. If you can provide that kind of messaging very clearly, you're going to be able to understand who you're selling to and devise a message that's going to really resonate with them, and then be able to tell an investor like me, hey, this is what we're doing, this is who we're selling to, and this is why we need your support to be able to move this forward.
Yeah, thank you. That's clear. Got it. Agree totally. Yes. I'll be happy to review this record. I think a couple of times at least. Take good notes.
So much information coming at you.
Reflect.
I agree with Michael about the demo point. It's not so much how does AI work, but it's how does your product work in terms of giving us different options. Moving then onto this whole technical aspect, I'm going to ask something which I don't think I have ever given as feedback in any speech coaching that I have ever done, because normally people use data and statistics and they overuse them, and the question is, can you pare it down? Can you give us just maybe the main thing? And here I feel that you didn't really use anything, and that this topic is perhaps begging for a statistic, especially to get investors interested. So I'm wondering whether there's something that you could share with us about the exponential growth of either all these different AI programs that are out there that can be used, or even the number of users. I was, by way of comparison, I was quite shocked recently to see a graph about camera usage or camera sales, and to realize we are only 10 years into the world of cameras on smartphones, and yet that's all we have pretty much. Conventional cameras have gone, and I thought it must be 20 years, but no, we're still at such a new stage. So you have this opportunity to show just unbelievable growth. But with that comes a question that you may be asked. So this might not be for your presentation, but I would expect someone to ask at some point, as all of these new AI programs get added week by week, how are you able to keep on top of them? How does that work? What do you do to make sure that you have the widest range to choose from? Are you able to tell us that, or is it too complicated?
Basically, I think, without think, I would say one stat that worth mentioning, maybe even within those 3 minutes, is that about 75% of people that have played around with ChatGPT or other models get disappointed by the result for many reasons. And I believe that's where we have to add more tools so people can explore, go beyond that, just playing, and apply that to their use cases. So a lot of work still to be done, so people would be happy with spending those few minutes with ChatGPT or IngestAI or any solution. Still a lot of things to improve, and this is maybe one of the stats that I think should be mentioned, because again, still, like, the intention is to say that it's not like we're not done. A lot of things still to be done, and how to help people I that's what we are doing. But yes, I agree also with that image and understanding on a much better level who is our customer is critical for us today. Because yes, I was thinking that it's anyone, and yes, I agree that maybe even such a easy for me things like fine-tuning on your data or training on your data is something that many people would just think like, what does mean? Like, just it would go, it would pass by, you know. And I think I'm speaking so like this, so simple words using and that like a kid would understand that, but not. Maybe that's because of a wrong perception of who is the customer.
Wow, I love this round of feedback so far, and especially because Michael's feedback uncovered something that's deeper than just a pitch, right? It's really find your audience. Who specifically are you talking to? Because if you're not talking to a specific audience, right, you're not tailoring your message and your words towards them, and you're really talking to no one at that point, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So there are also a couple of comments that came in on YouTube. I want to bring up this one here by the gift tailor Samantha. At the end, when you said, if I had more time, I'd show you benefits, I would suggest giving a quick list, verbal or slide, of the benefits in the pitch, right? So highlight the benefits again instead of, I'd show you the benefits. Very, very quickly bring them right in there. So thank you for that, Samantha. And more comments here also from Samantha. Maybe show screenshots of his products in action. You do have some screenshots, right? You do have some screenshots, but if you're not feeling comfortable, maybe something in action or just a short little GIF or GIF or
we
however.
have two people,
exactly,
for that, and GIF would solve that basically, like 3 seconds.
And then Massimo has a comment here, and I want to bring this back with Massimo's comment to the entire discussion of demo or not demo, because I think that's a question that many presenters have on their minds, right? They go like, okay, I only have 3 minutes time. Can I do a demo in that time? Massimo thinks it can be done in 10 seconds, right? So I wanna bring this back to our panel of coaches here. So far, we've had Stuart and Michael, I think, in favor of a live demo during the pitch, and Nathan was more like, well, we kind of know how it looks. And so who wants to dive a little bit deeper on that one? Nathan, come on.
I'll go ahead and start that one. I've had a rethink on my first statement here today. And yes, especially because of Massimo's statement, he already signed up to your product already and tried to use it. So he's got a sense in 10 seconds. So based on someone who's never used your product before and the experience that I had on Monday with a workshop of people that I had, 32 people all start using IngestAI like that. And they were so motivated because most of them were already GPT users. So I agree with the idea of having a 10-second demo on the playground, a 10-second demo on the aggregator, and a 10-second demo on create your own or thereabouts. So in less than 30 seconds to 45 seconds, I think you can get it done. Back to Monday's workshop. I wanted to point that out because as I'm listening to Michael and Stuart and Claudio and our guests online and your responses, I'm thinking, are we all potentially just missing the obvious audience that you ought to be marketing towards or pushing towards? To me, the obvious audience is OpenAI has already created the momentum and the drive to use ChatGPT. Why not just make your initial target for the next 90 to 120 or more days all GPT users? They're already paying $20 a month like I am to use their product. Your product costs $20 a month. So, and I get to use all of those things under one roof. Wait a minute. Like, why do I want to just pay you? You get it? So it feels like maybe I'm crazy, but it feels like you already got the audience out there saying, how do I use this? What do I do? You, IngestAI.io, could be the thought leader and start creating the answers to things like Michael and Stuart have been saying, like the Stuarts of the world, the Claudias of the world. You come in and you learn more about AI, you get more clarity, you try your product and you get even more clarity and more understanding. Maybe that to me could be. And then the other group is the enterprise and the CTO kind of build your own, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, I was a little bit of a rant, but I just wanted to get that in.
I think you brought up a good point, Nathan, which is that there are different types of users who will be going after or may be interested in a product like this. The challenge I have as an investor is to understand who's going to be willing to pay for that and understand the business model behind it. So while there are a bunch of folks paying for ChatGPT now, and they're working on it, is that going to be sustainable, or is it still a playground thing that after some period of time will wane off? Or not? I'm not sure. I'm not sure where it's going. I know my personal feeling is based on the random sample of my friends that have been using ChatGPT, they're just playing right now. So while they are working alongside doing things and maybe they're getting some benefit from it, they haven't got that target use case that they've said, I'm going to use it for this all the time, or I really need it for this. So my focus from an investor standpoint, if I want to know what problem you're solving beyond just aggregating AI. Do you have some specific ways that you can tailor this? Because while it's nice to get an individual to pay $20 a month to be able to do this stuff, you can need a lot of individuals. But if you have the way to get into an organization and say, we'll help you build from a services model, we have a capability of working with your teams to educate you on how these multi-models work and how this can be trained on your data to allow you to get a competitive advantage from your industrial standpoint. Now you're talking a very different kind of buyer who is going to be willing to pay hundreds of thousands of dollars or more to have this tool work within their environment. Well, you get people who are paying hundreds of thousands of dollars. You need a whole lot of individuals paying 20 to make that up. So enterprise versus personal use or individual use, there are probably two different use cases you need to focus on and understand who you're selling to. Because like Nathan said, yes, there are people out there who will say, oh, I'll try this one. This one's $20 a month and I get a bunch of different things. That's good. But is it sustainable from a business model for you to be able to grow your business on that while people are playing with it versus I have an actual problem I'm going to solve, and it's this in this industry, and here's how I can help you with this magical aggregator thing that I've created that does all this stuff by these models and help you train your own models on this data internal to your business to solve X. Again, different messages completely, but you have to understand which model you're going to go after and how you're going to attack that particular model, business model, not AI model, to ensure that you're going to have a sustainable business and that you're going to get investors to actually be excited about it and want to be participating.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Michael. Totally agree. A lot of insights. Yes. Still a lot of work to be done, and
you have a good start too. Don't get me wrong. I'm giving you feedback on things that I believe are things to help you. It's certainly not to criticize you. This is really something I hope you're taking from a constructive feedback perspective.
Sure,
you have a great platform. Sure. It's just you need to hone it down to be able to create the business model that's going to be able to be sustainable.
Yeah. Absolutely. Thank you. That's how I'm receiving that. Only in proactive way and just getting those insights. And the only thing is that I'm trying not to think every second is that I'll have to review that many times.
Understand.
Huge value in your feedbacks. Thank you very much.
if I could just jump in, I think something that Michael's touched on there is you develop your business model, you are probably going to need to think about competition. When we see a lot of pitches, often they're in established industries. And so a natural question everyone has is, are there other people doing this? If so, how are you different or better to them? And that's something you should probably still have at the back of your mind. But that, when you think about that, that also allows you to differentiate yourself and stay ahead. What it does remind me of is I remember exactly 22 years ago joining a law firm. And at that point, I had been using the internet for 6 years, probably about the same time most of us had. And I remember the librarians in this law firm saying, oh, as our search engine, we use Google. And I remember thinking, Google? That's rubbish. There are at least 3 better search engines than Google. But of course, they perhaps had done their research and knew the direction that we were going in. And today, who doesn't use Google? So you want to be the Google here. And so the challenge is to sort of think, well, how can you be that Google? How can you be better than the others, the people who are yet to jump in, the people who are already jumping in? And as I say, this might be a question that you're asked about as well. So something worth having an answer for.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Vasyl, I have.
We're working on.
Go ahead.
Yes,
Go ahead.
We're working on something really cool that unfortunately I'm allowed now just to say that we will apply for provisional patent within few days, and it will be public. So basically, it's just a question of few days that we will present the way we will release within next months aggregation engine, which will be huge advancement in how people can interact with AI models.
Great.
I just wanted to drop in the moral of the story I said a moment ago that I never got to, and that is the reason that I believe the current GPT users could be the quickest way to get people talking about IngestAI is out of those 32 cats I worked with on Monday, 31 of them are no longer using GPT straight up. They're using your product because they can play. Like Michael said a moment ago, anybody that I have said to, oh, you're using GPT, have you heard of IngestAI.io? You can try all of these things, Bard, A 4. They go, wow, I didn't know about that. Let me go play. And Michael even used the word playground, and poetically, that's the name of that feature in your product. So let's go help people play on the playground rather than just one little playground off in a city that you have to go. You get the medicine. I'm here for you. I look forward to working with you more.
I love it. I love it. And we certainly played quite a bit here for the last 44 minutes. And that means we are getting to the end for today. I hope, Vasyl, you got some value out of the feedback. Got some concrete steps that you can take to improve this even further. I also hope that our viewers live and those on replay got some value out of this. If you do, please subscribe to this channel because there is more like that coming every single week. And with that, I want to very briefly thank all 3 coaches. Great job today. And I look forward to seeing everybody again next week. In the meantime, enjoy a wonderful morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are in the world. See you again. Bye-bye.